All right. Well, happy Saturday, everyone.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
We have Glow Girl Glow with us today. It's such a pleasure to be spending our Saturday evening with you, Nikki. Um, what does your beautiful necklace say?
Oh, it says Chandra. That's my first name.
Very cool.
Beautiful names.
So
Thank you.
let's tell you guys a little bit about Nikki, Chandra, who goes by Nikki, and Glow Girl Glow on Instagram. And so Nikki's actually a full-time mail carrier. She is a part-time reseller. She's a mom of two, a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old. She's on a journey of becoming debt-free, and she lives in Atlanta, Georgia. So hello to everyone who's joining us now. Hi, Justin. So we're actually on YouTube Live, but we upload our lives to our podcast. So it's the Flippin' Gals podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify podcasts. So, but if you join us live when we come on, you're welcome to join us in the chats and be part of the conversation. So quick shout out to Dresden. Hi, Dresden. She says hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us this evening.
So, Nikki, we've known you for a little bit of almost a year now, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'm not
it's
sure.
almost a year.
Time flies. And, we're super excited to really get to know you because we haven't really had a chance to kind of have the one-on-one. So we definitely want to hear about your story, how you started reselling and what got you into the whole budgeting thing. So there's a lot to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. So, hi, Lizette. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Hi, Lizette.
Hey,
Just wanted to kind of, before we get started, for those who have maybe never been here, Michelle and I, we started, buying things to sell online about 2 years ago. And we realized that was a really convenient way. Michelle and I both have really demanding, full-time jobs, just like Nikki does. Nikki's job has been pretty demanding as of recently, and she'll tell you more about that in a minute. But reselling is kind of at your own pace, at your convenience, from home, and it's a hobby, not really a hobby. You're trying to raise money to pay for some bills. And we didn't really know you can raise serious money doing this. Mm-hmm. We kind of stumbled across it, and we ended up just loving it because it's not, any kind of job is going to take work, but it's not hard. Anyone can literally do this. And then I don't know if Nikki's saying yes, so she's agreeing with what was just said there. So our journey started 2 years ago, but we really want to get to know more about Nikki's journey. And so in our industry, we're basically, in e-commerce, online retailers. And then in our industry, we call each other's the local jargon is resellers, right? Mm-hmm. So Nikki, how long have you been reselling and what got you into reselling?
Well, I started reselling in January of this year. So about 11 months. And the reason why I started reselling was last year. I lost my mom in July and she didn't have any savings. I didn't have any savings. And she didn't have any life insurance. So I sent out a text message to all of my friends and they came through for me with money, and I was able to give my mom a funeral arrangement. So that had me thinking about, I need to get my finances in order because I didn't want my kids to go through the same thing I went through with my mom. So I stumbled across Poshmark, which I already knew about Poshmark and Macari because I was selling my son's clothing from there, and I was also purchasing clothing for him because kids, they grow out of clothing so quick. So I got on Poshmark in January of this year. I started listing some items from my home, and I was on there just to at first I was on there to make money to pay for my son's daycare. But like you said, the reselling, it could be up and down. And with me being new, I wasn't making the amount of money that I needed towards his daycare fees. And I was, in a slump. So I didn't want to just dedicate that amount for his daycare. So whatever I would make, just to take the pressure off of me, whatever I would make in reselling, I would just put towards debt. And then more so in April of this year, I focused on one goal, and that was to just put all of that money, whatever I make in reselling, towards paying off my car, because I'm trying to get rid of the car note.
Definitely. Yeah. And like your journey, we've seen it with others. And actually, you've really inspired us to look deeper into our finances. Because when we first started doing this, it was more like, oh, hey, we have this bill. Maybe we can raise money to pay it. But we've learned so much from you. And there's a lot left to learn from you in how your journey, you're starting to help others like us really think about our finances and planning them out. And, I guess you kind of really just touched on that. Like, would you say, since you started in January this year, how has reselling affected your life? Would you say it's like changed your life at all? And if so, how?
Yes, it actually has, because I'm selling items that I thought that, I didn't want, I can't wear anymore, or I no longer love. I didn't think that those things I could make some money, from it. So just listing it online on a Poshmark app, Mercari, and I also sell on eBay, and finding out that people have the same taste as me, and I'm making a few bucks from it. Yes, it has changed my life, and it really has helped put extra money towards debt. So yeah, it has changed my life.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought of the idea of like using reselling to pay debt. In my head, it's, I'm always like, oh my God, there's so much debt. And that's it. Like, people are just complaining about it, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So this is such a great way to inspire other people to do it. Right. And then, you also have this, you're also trying to educate people on how to budget, which is something that they don't teach you at school.
No.
They don't, but they totally should. That's so important. It's like a basic life skill. And speaking of budgeting, we're learning about budgeting from you. Would you mind sharing that journey a little bit? Because that's like another big part of what you kind of like, who you are to us, and like what you're kind of showing a lot of others to do.
Yeah. So I started budgeting in November of last year. And basically, I'm just doing the zero-based budget. And what that is I take all of my income and I subtract all of my bills and expenses, and I give every dollar a job to do. That way I know exactly where my money is going, because a lot of times we're using our debit cards and we're swiping it, not really keeping track of how much is leaving the account. So lately I've just been writing everything down so I can see exactly where my money is going, and actually really planning it out, because that is the key, planning it out, because sometimes you can still be below your budget. And I learned this month actually, but you can be below your budget, but however, you're spending more money in another category if you're not really setting a budget for each individual category. So say for instance, I've been out shopping at buying stuff from Starbucks lately. That was not in my budget at all, but I got a gift card and I start purchasing things from there, and I start liking it. So I'm finding myself there more often. So, so now I have to set aside a set amount of money there, because if not, I'm just swiping my card and the money is just leaving my account.
That's true. So it's like conscious spending, which is really important. And it goes well with life skills, but also business skills, which a lot of us are, still learning about. Because just, it's easy to start this business, but once you start making money from it and you want to grow it, there's other skills that you really need to learn. And budgeting is a big one.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, Nikki, because it's important to be aware of what you're spending your money on.
Right.
Like you brought up Starbucks, right? And you're like, oh, I really like this. This is something that I enjoy. Let me add it to my budget sheet. Whereas, a lot of other people are just like spend. And then later they're like, oh man, how much did I spend? So just that, having that skill like that you have of becoming aware and adding it to your budget sheet, it's a lot. Like I don't know anyone who would do that.
Yeah. And Nikki Nikki likes to show us exactly, I mean, she's very transparent in her process, which is really nice, because the nice thing about being transparent is you see someone else doing something, so then you're like, wow, I think I can do that too.
Right.
There's not like a hidden secret about it.
Mm-hmm.
So is like, yeah, what motivates you to be so transparent about your debt-free journey, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I just look at it as like, I would want somebody to be honest with me. I know a lot of people I follow on YouTube, they make up their numbers because they don't want to share their income. And I just feel like, okay, well, I'm not making a whole lot of money. And it's not even really about how much money you're making, because if I'm making $10,000 a month and I'm spending $10,000 a month, I'm not making anything. So I just want to be honest with people. I want to show people exactly what I'm doing and know that they could do it too. So sometimes my income is not as much as I planned for it to be, and that's okay, because as you know, I was just out with my kids on the virtual learning for about 6 weeks, and I wasn't getting the amount that I normally would receive. So I had to budget, and for that. So it's not about how much money you're making. It's actually about what are you doing with your money, basically.
That's true. That's a good point. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. Yes. The point Nikki just brought out is it's about what you keep, and then what do you do with the money that you keep, right?
Yep.
So how long have you been, you started in November. How has it been? How has the journey been? Is it like ups and downs? Is it like, are you consistent? How is it going?
When I first started in November, I guess that probably was a bad time for me, because I was heading into the holidays. So of course I was over my budget and I didn't know exactly what method I wanted to use. I was just starting off. I was listening to Dave Ramsey and all of the other people that was on the podcast and YouTube. But ever since January, and I actually pulled my credit report and I went down the credit report, made arrangements for with the bill collectors that I was behind on, and actually got a system in place. It has really been working now. Sometimes I do, like I mentioned before, I do overspend in certain categories. I have yet to go over my budget, but I've went over in different categories, which is still not good. For me, it's still not good, but the journey has been up and down, but more so consistent this year, starting around, I would say around April.
Wow.
When I started paying off the car. So that's when everything I focused in just on the car, and I know exactly if I have anything extra, I'm going to split it in half goes to saving and half goes towards the car.
That's really impressive, actually. And let us explain why. So we've met you, we have it on our conscious minds that we want to start budgeting, but it's taking us much longer than it took you, it feels like. But we haven't given up on ourselves. We're still going to make it happen.
Right.
It's not an easy thing to do.
Like, it's not.
And it's not an easy thing to talk about too.
Yeah, and it's not. And if you're just starting off, what I would suggest you do is just go back, maybe, if not, I would suggest 90 days, but if not 90 days, at least 30 days, look through all of your transactions, see exactly what you're spending your money on, and kind of list it out in categories, like groceries, food, out to eat, entertainment, things like that. And then just add up those numbers for those categories. And then the following month, when you want to start budgeting, try to set an amount, that you've already been spending. So and that's another thing, set realistic goals. If you know that every time you go to Walmart and you spending $200, don't set a budget for $50, because every single time you're going in there, you're spending way over $50. So just set a realistic budget. So I would suggest you go back at least 90 days and look through transactions just to see exactly where you're spending your money on, and then kind of categorize it and add set a budget for it.
That's really great advice. I feel like we need to have a whole live just on budgeting with you in the future sometime.
So going back to reselling, right? So you have a set goal for your reselling journey also?
With my reselling, I'm paying off debt. So I feel like once I get out of debt, I want to actually start a nonprofit. Like I mentioned earlier, someone gave me $2,000 to help with my mom's funeral arrangement, and I want to be making money from the reselling to actually put to the side towards my nonprofit, where I can help others that may not have life insurance or anything like that, to give their loved one some type of funeral arrangement. So that's like my long-term goal with reselling.
That's a good, that's a fantastic goal. And I can feel like I could feel that a bit. Like my father passed away and he had some life insurance, but it wasn't enough. So it actually ended up changing my mom, mine and my brother and sister's life. Like our lifestyle changed. And it was after he passed away, like it affected our lifestyle for forever. Like we never got back to where we were before he passed away. So it is really important, like, topic. So like, I mean, finance is just like so important, and thanks to you, we get to think about it. It's hard, but it's important. So let me know when you start that, because I'm interested in helping out in any way that I possibly can, because I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you also have a full-time job.
Yes.
Right? So how do you balance that with budgeting and your kids, and then you've got Poshmark, you've got your full-time job? How does that work?
To be honest, I don't have any type of system or anything. I'm just winging it, to be honest, because a lot of times my hours vary at work. I can go in at 8:30. There's no telling what time I'm gonna get off. It's just when the meal is done, that's what time I get off. And then I have to pick up not one but two kids in different areas. So what I do is on Sunday, that's my off day, I would just take a lot of pictures of all of my items, and I would list them throughout the week. And then during the week, I would just go to work and just come home and be with the kids, and I'll just be sharing my closet throughout the day and things like that.
Wow. So about like how many hours a week would you say you spend, reselling? And then you're also doing another business with your budgeting, right? Because we purchased one of your budgeting products. So it's almost like you have two businesses.
Yeah. So speaking of that, the reselling has gotten the back seat, because right now I'm focusing on the budgeting. I'm trying to get out planners, new planners, like physical planners, out by the end of the year. So that's what I've been working on. But I'm just really, this week right here, I've had 4 days off. I've been off since Thanksgiving. So I've been really focusing on just creating this physical planner and putting a lot of my focus into that. And like I said, the reselling has really just taken the back seat, which I really need to pep it up a little bit, because I did make some sales, and sometimes I'm kind of confused. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't really been active, but I'm still making some sales, and I'm grateful for that. And that just tells me that, I can still do those other things along with reselling. I just have to find a way that I could do both. Maybe just create a schedule one day.
Yeah, exactly. Because whatever you put in, wherever your energy goes, that's where you're going to see the results. Right? So that makes sense. So like for a brand new, let's say, single mother, we forgot to mention that, but you also happen to be a single mother. Actually, that is the title of the live. How do you, like, I don't know. We know your motivation, but like Michelle said, how did you find the time initially? Like, can you remember back when you first started, how you had your schedule, and then how would you, pull some time away to get your business going?
Right. So my son was in January, he was in pre-K. So he attended a private pre-K, and he would be there in the mornings to 5 o'clock. So if I was off that day, then I will put a lot of time into my business then. And then also on Sundays, I'm always off every single Sunday. So that's the time that I would actually go to the stores. That's the time where I would take all of my photos and all of that. And then I set a budget for that. So it's not like I'm picking up hundreds of items. I'm only picking up like a small amount, because my budget is very small. So I could get my pictures done that same day and just have it, let's kind of like draft it out so I can list it throughout the week. And I do my listings at work while I'm on my break or something like that.
Wow, that's really cool. And do you only sell on Poshmark?
Well, I sell on Mercari and eBay as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what kind of items do you sell? Is there a category specific or?
Just clothing, and I'm also on Etsy too with the planners. So yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome.
4 platforms.
That's really awesome. Yeah. And are you looking for, in terms of clothes, do you look for specific items or like brands or women's clothes, men's clothes, or a little bit of everything?
Well, just women's clothing right now. I do sell some of my kids' clothing. I'm not really picking up any kids' items just because I do want to keep the cost of goods very, very low. And I'm just not really good with shopping for the kids, like, you know, for profit, basically, is what I'm saying. But I don't do brands. I actually just pick up things that I like because I'm finding that people like my style too. Surprisingly, they like my style. And I'm just a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. So I pick up jeans. I pick up high-waisted jeans, the stretch jeans, skinny jeans. All of those does really well for me. It does, and it's different brands. I've sold Abercrombie and Finch. I've sold Hollister, American Eagle. So different brands.
Cool.
And then J Brand. I think you told me about J Brand jeans. So I picked up some of those and sold those. And Joe jeans.
Oh yeah, the Joe jeans too are doing well. Michelle told me about J Brand, but I'm the one that's on Instagram all the time.
The distressed ones tend to sell better. Distressed jeans.
Yeah, children's clothes are difficult, but there is a platform called Citizen that some people. Have you sold your children's clothes on there?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten on Citizen. I heard about it, but I just haven't used it yet.
Yeah, exactly. I heard good things about there for kids' clothes. I also heard Facebook Marketplace was good for kids' clothes. Really? Have you tried there?
No.
No. Okay.
There's so many.
We haven't either. We just heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another question we wanted to ask you was, can you think of maybe 5 tips to give to a single parent who's trying to earn some extra money, budget their finances? Do you have any tips for them?
Well, the first tip I would say, yes, get on these platforms. Start with some items in your closet. Go through your closet, find things that you no longer love, that you cannot fit anymore, because there was a lot of items that I couldn't fit anymore. And I actually went through my closet and I took out every single thing in my closet and tried it on. And if I couldn't fit it, I listed it. The next tip I would say, if you want to start budgeting, as I mentioned before, just go through all of your transactions for the last 90 days. Start there. And just know that sometimes you may be over your budget. You just have to start, basically. Once you start and you keep on writing it down, you're going to get better and better. It doesn't happen overnight. And just know that, you know, you are enough, basically, because it's like you mentioned, it's not a hard thing to do with the reselling. But if you are a single parent, and I have 2 kids, there may be parents out there with more than just 2 kids, and they may feel like they can't do it. You just have to sit with the little time that you have. You just have to do what you can and be okay with just that. Don't look on the internet with what everybody else is doing, because I was one of the people that was watching everybody else and wondering why I wasn't able to get the same amount done. But I had to think that, okay, well, I just worked 10 hours and I got to come home and I got to put focus into the kids. So just know any little bit that you could get done, that's enough.
Yeah, that's really great advice. And it makes sense because, like, some of the things you said just make sense in general as a business. When you first start, it takes a while for the momentum to build. And like you said, you know, looking at other people who may have 1,000 items in a closet, and you may start out with 10, and that's totally fine, right? It'll just, you know, take time to build it. And none of the effort you put in will go to waste, because the rewards will come as long as, you know, we stay consistent with things, right? And like, we're very lucky, you know, we have each other to help each other out, but and also to even leverage like our strengths and weaknesses, because like literally this is kind of embarrassing, but I've been trying to relist like our expired items on eBay. So we have about 15 a day that expire. And I've only just started helping Michelle with this because Michelle's she's the queen of listing everything, and she's fast. So she can list, it's like 17 items in about an hour and a half on 4 different platforms. I don't know how she does it. It takes me, no joke, literally like the same amount of time to do maybe 3 items. I know it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But like, I haven't given up on myself. Like, I'm putting in a lot of time and hours, and I feel like I'll get faster. But I can't just give up, right? So,
right.
But Nikki,
I'm the same way too.
Yeah.
I'm slow with the listing, but I just won a free month of List Perfectly, so I'm trying to use that and see if that would help out. You know, make me faster. Yep.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, the cross listing platform definitely helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking you brought up a really good point about like, and then initially you were comparing. I think everyone goes through that journey. I think when we first started, you know, like Leslie encouraged us to kind of go on Poshmark and started listing our items. I felt so discouraged when we listed our items. We didn't sell anything for like a month and a half or something.
Yes.
And you know, I think it's just like follow what you said is just focus on what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't compare with other people. Learn from your mistakes. You know, we all have our challenges. And I think you've really given some really good advice, especially people or single moms out there who want to start reselling, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, like we just mentioned, or I mentioned, like consistency is really important. What helps you stay consistent, Nikki? You're so consistent. You're so responsible. Like we really look up to you. No, like seriously, I'm just in awe because you just do so much. So, what can you recommend to others, anyone, for staying consistent, especially single parents, if you don't mind?
Yeah, well, what I do is I already know my days off, what my days off going to be from my full-time job. And like I mentioned, I'm off every Sunday. So I work around those off days. I used to go in on my off days, but I no longer want to go in on my off days. I want to put more focus into the business because I feel like, okay, the business cannot run without me there. So I've dedicated my off days to just doing that, and I'm able to get more done. So what I would say is for you to be more consistent, I've actually used planners too. So when in my planners, I have a to-do list of the items I want to get done, how many items I listed for the day. And I know already how many items I need to kind of list throughout the week. But yeah, I would say just create a schedule and kind of stick with the schedule. But I pretty much do the same thing every single time. It's just the days kind of change because my off days changes during the week, except for that Sunday.
And I'm going to use a tip that you gave us earlier, which was, oh gosh, I just blanked out for a minute. Like, oh no, sorry. I kind of remember now because we all have different amounts. I'm noticing in the comments, we all have different numbers of listings we could do in an hour. So you said earlier to set realistic expectations with your budgeting, but I almost feel like with listing, set realistic expectations when you're writing it down in your planner. So for me, if I could do like 3 an hour, maybe I could set a goal to do 4. Instead of like 17 like Michelle. So
right.
So yeah, you give really great tips. But I'm like reworking them in my head.
I have to add that her listing quality is much better than mine because I'm sloppy. I just want to get it out. That was my goal. Yeah. But her goal is like, I need this to be perfect. So pros and cons.
I'm not a perfectionist, but I am thorough, and that can be bad. So, right. I'm like the turtle and the hare. I'm the turtle.
But at least you guys listing everything in hour increments. I just do it by day actually. So I'm super slow. So I just pick my items that I want to list per day, and that's what I really stick to. And my numbers 3 items per day. So that's just me. That's just what I could get done.
Hey, that's still really good. Sometimes I have 0 items. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, we often have 0 items a day.
So Nikki, do you have any top 5 best sold items in your head? Do you have any?
Yes. Well, I'm not selling any more of it, but Jordans was my #1 items. I had got some stuff from my boyfriend, and of course it was high dollar amount items, so that was my #1 seller. Then jeans were my next best seller, and then Victoria's Secret. I was selling a lot of that at first because that was what I had in my personal closet that I got rid of. I just felt like I just outgrown Victoria's Secret pink. So those are actually the 3 that I've my top sellers. I've also did a lot on Fashion Nova. That's something that I wear. I love Fashion Nova. Those really are the only brands that I sell a lot of, but and American Eagle, I forgot about those.
Those are all, I feel like, are they still pretty popular brands now too?
Well, I haven't listed any Victoria's Secret pink. I think I probably got a few items still in my closet, so I'm not sure if they were, if they are a top brand now, but maybe because I was pricing it so low in the beginning, that's probably why it was just going so quick. But
it's so funny you said that, because on our Instagram we have like these saved sales, and then I just noticed like our clothes were priced almost half what we priced them now. So.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't know, you're just like, hey, it's more. You would sell it for $1 or $2 at the drop sale. So.
And then you get a low baller and you're like, okay, I'll let
go. Right. So now I just price high and just look for offers. Maybe they'll send me an offer. Maybe they would, because sometimes I have customers buy it straight out. And I'm like, wow.
That's true. That's a good point. So when you just price like at market price, you can give those offers, like those discounts, put your stores on sales. But like Nikki just mentioned, every now and then you get a full price purchase and you're just like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. This is awesome.
But you know what? Sometimes we actually learn that sometimes if you price it higher, the more chances that people would buy it because they see more value in the item. And that tends to happen. We've had items where we priced it too low and we like marked it up and it sold.
Right.
Weird.
That's true. All right. So that was a good question, Michelle, asking about that. We always like to ask everyone what your top 5 items are sold. And then you are selling on 4 platforms. Which one do you like the most and why?
You said what now again?
Which platform do you like the most and why? Do you have a favorite one?
Let's review them again. So you said you're selling on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Etsy.
Yep. My favorite platform is actually Poshmark because it's the easiest. I don't like all of the sharing portion of it, but it's the easiest. You don't really have to do much on it, but except for list your items and share and make sure you're sharing your closet. Your shipping label comes directly to your email, and then you could just use the USPS shipping supplies. But my best selling platform is Mercari.
Wow.
A lot of times I'm doing the ship on my own feature, so I have to actually go through a third party site, which I use Pirate Ship, and I actually have to use different packaging depending on what size the item may be. If it's a lightweight item, then I would have Mercari pay for the I would pay for the shipping label through Mercari. And if it's a heavier item over 1 pound, then I would do the ship on my own, and then I would go to Pirate Ship and package my item there.
That's a really good tip because I've always used a Mercari shipping, and sometimes you notice their shipping is a little bit too expensive.
Yeah. So Pirate Ship.
Okay, so yeah, I think Marina suggested that today, and I think we're gonna change that.
Yeah,
and you know best because you have the benefit of having this knowledge about postal service. So right?
Yeah, and would you like to let everyone know what your secular job is?
Yes, I am a mail carrier at the United States Postal Services. So the packages you are shipping out, I get them to their customers.
And we thank you so much for doing that, because if without you, we don't have a business. So
Right.
thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And the election too. You guys played a very large part this year, and thank you for all the work you did. And you happen to live in Georgia, where they're having the runoff election, and you're still
we're back. Yep, we're back at it again.
Oh, wow. So pretty busy times right now as well.
Yep, not as busy as the primary election, but still kind of heavy with the flyers and stuff that's going out.
Wow, I can't imagine that. That's got to be a lot of energy, I would think, in your area with all this right now.
I'm sure you burn a lot of calories.
Yes, I do. I do actually, and I'm not trying to.
It's actually a really good thing, because I feel like I'm sitting on the chair all day long.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So how much money would you say for a new person is needed to get started on this kind of a job?
Just started with reselling?
With reselling, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're new and you're starting with reselling, I would say $0 starting off, because you're going to start off on Poshmark. You're going to go through your own closet. You're going to pull out some items from your closet, and you're going to, have a printer at home, hopefully. And you're just going to list those items. And once it starts selling, you can just get the shipping supplies from the post office. Those are free. And once you run out of those items from your own closet, you're going to use the money that you've actually been making from reselling. You're not going to, go on your own from your own full-time job money. No, you're going to go in the money that you're making with reselling. So that way it's not like you're losing anything, but you're going to reinvest that money back into your business. And I would say starting out, I would take at least $100 and maybe go find you some items to reinvest back into the business. And also, what I didn't do in the beginning that I would give a tip for someone else is check your comps, because at first I was just picking up items that I was hearing that were selling for everyone else, and then I would have those items, list those items, and it would still be sitting in my closet, because I guess my customers are not shopping those particular brands, or maybe they were older brands and I just picked up the wrong item. So just check your comps when you're out there picking up these items.
Oh, really great tips there. And so to know this is something you can do with zero money, is amazing. You can't really say that about a lot of businesses. You need some capital, but with this one, you can start from your closet. You can even put an announcement in a local ad on Facebook or next door and get donations and start from there. And that's not unusual. We've seen a lot of, I've heard of a lot of stories where that's how people start. And then it snowballs, like what you said, right? Use that profit to fine. If you need to pay bills, then you would take, what would you suggest? Take a portion and then use some of it to buy your items and some of it to pay your bills. Is that what you suggest, Nikki?
Right. Yes, I definitely would do that. I just reinvest $50 back into the business. That's my budget for the business. Whatever I make, I take out $50 and I send the remaining towards my car. But if you have any bills, then you would send yours towards your bills, and then whatever else the amount that you want to reinvest, you would just take that out. So yeah.
I just love how organized you are.
and then the money that you're taking out, if you want to purchase those cute poly mailers, because everybody wants the cute poly mailers and things like that, you want to take it out of that money as well. Don't overspend on these items, because it's really not necessary if you're only selling on Posh. And that's what I'm telling myself. So now I've really been staying focused with just the free items from Poshmark. And if I have to ship something first class, then of course I will use a poly mailer. But other than that, I'm sticking with the free supplies, because I found myself spending a lot of money on those custom poly mailers.
And such good advice again. Like, I'm gonna go back and rewatch this video and like write everything down that you're saying because it's such good advice. We actually would love to get the beautiful. Branding is so important, but we haven't purchased those yet. What we ended up doing is we bought some stickers, and we found this place where we paid $99 and we got like 5,000 stickers. So I think it's going to last us a long time. So there's like ways to brand yourselves that can be affordable and, and not so expensive. But those are good points because $1 will add up, right?
Yep.
$1 here, $1 there can add up. So what's your motivation, Nikki, to keep you going like every week?
Well, just seeing that debt coming down, and because this month I went back and I looked at my debt, and it feels like I haven't really been paying anything off. But when you go back and you actually look at the numbers and see that, wow, you've already sent over like $4,000 on your car. And because I started off at like 7,000 this year, and now I'm down to like 35. So it's like, wow, it doesn't even feel like I've been sending this amount of money, because it really haven't like hit me in the pockets or anything like that, because I'm still doing those things that I enjoy as well. I'm also still saving money on the side, and to know that I'm actually knocking this car note down, it just gives me the momentum to just keep on going and knowing that I could do this.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's amazing. So do you have a time where you think you're going to like pay it off?
I want to pay it off at the end of the year. That's my goal. Fingers crossed, but I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just crossing my fingers. Who knows?
Well, and it happens to be Small Business Saturday today, right? So, there are some who have joined us in the live. Please put your names, your platform that you sell on, the name of your store, and we will put you, we'll shout you out on the podcast so that those who are listening could, shop small, right? So, Nikki, you are a Glow Girl Glow, GLO, right? Like glow in the dark, kind of on Poshmark. Is that correct?
On Poshmark, Nikki's Closet, BTQ.
Oh, I am so sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nikki's Closet, BTQ, NICKIS.
Yep.
Is that right? And then Closet, and then BTQ, like boutique.
Yep.
Like boutique. Okay, cool. And then on Etsy, how does somebody find you?
Glow Girl Glow.
Okay, Glow Girl Glow on Etsy. And then on Mercari,
the Nikki's Closet Boutique, and eBay Nikki's Closet Boutique.
Okay, cool. That makes it easy. Okay, cool. So if you guys want to, help Nikki reach her end of the year goal, and check out some of her lovely items. But we do recommend the budgeting worksheet. And what's really fantastic about Nikki, if you have just gotten to know her on this live, is that she's super down to earth, super easy to talk to, extremely kind, attentive, responsible. So when we have any questions about the budgeting worksheets, she's just so kind and explains it to us. And we don't feel like we don't know anything. She's just so informative and fast. She'll respond quickly. So
yeah, we definitely learn a lot from you. I mean, I have never heard of the term sinking funds, like it was through you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how come they don't teach you this stuff at school?
Right.
So yeah, thank you so much. And, we really look forward to the planner that you're working on.
Yeah.
And, this vision that you have to do this nonprofit, there's just so many exciting things that are going to happen in your journey. So we're really excited.
And speaking of that, do you have any plans to expand in other directions going forward? What's going on for 2021? What are your plans for that?
2021, I'm actually trying to work on a Facebook group, and I'm actually working on a podcast as well. So I'm trying to do all of the things. I know, but I want to actually create a safe space where people can talk about their money. It's one thing showing up on Instagram and doing the lives and actually people watching me do my budget and things like that, and watching it on YouTube as well, because I'm there now as well. But to actually create a space where people can actually get that accountability in a Facebook group and see, I guess get help with their money. So I'm trying to create a Facebook group. I'm going to be creating a Facebook group next year. I'm looking forward to that to start around maybe February. I'm just trying to get some things in play and wait till everything after the holidays die down from work. But yeah, I want to create a Facebook group, and then I'm also working on a podcast. And a podcast is really not just going to be totally on debt free. It's just going to be about women just glowing up in general in life and in business, and whatever you feel like you've glowed up in, then you could come on the podcast. So that's something that I'm going to be working on as well towards the end of the year.
Wow, that's absolutely exciting. And, we're very happy to hear that you have really big goals. Your energy is fantastic. So we do think you're going to, it's like, what do you call it? You're passing us all your good energy. Like we feel it. Contagious. There we go. We're in a pandemic and I can't even think of the right word. No, your energy is contagious in a very positive way. And you're doing such good things. And we're so grateful for you.
Yeah, Nikki. And I think a lot of people in the reselling community know this as well. It's, we've never met each other in person, but everyone just feels your authenticity, and you're just so real, and we absolutely love, and we're thankful that we have met you.
Thank you. I love you both. And if you guys don't know that Michelle and Morena will be on my live next Sunday. I can't wait.
So this is going to be on Instagram, correct?
Yes.
On Instagram, which is Glow Girl Glow on Instagram.
Yes.
And we do have Rich thrifting by. He says that he would like to be part of your Facebook group. So Nikki is also, she also has a YouTube channel, right, Nikki?
Yes. I release videos over there every Monday at 12 p.m.
Okay, perfect. And then what's your YouTube handle, if you don't mind?
Glow Girl Glow.
Glow Girl Glow. Awesome. Okay, so Rich or everyone who's here, please make sure you sign up to Nikki's YouTube channel, Glow Girl Glow, where she's releasing videos every Monday at 12 p.m. So a lot of people came here to see you. They really love you, Nikki. We appreciate you being here with us today. We did want to finish our live by asking some fire questions.
Okay.
If that's all right.
That's fine.
So fire away. Fire questions, yeah. So question is, what are you watching on, Netflix or television these days?
Oh wow. I rarely watch any TV, but what I like on TV, I like crime shows. So I would say, I don't know. What was I watching the other night? Oh my God. Because I watch a whole lot of YouTube. I have my TV on YouTube now. So I'm just watching everybody's YouTube channel. So that's basically what I'm watching lately, these days anyway.
YouTube. Cool. A lot of YouTube. Yeah, that works.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Crab legs. Oh my God. I'm a seafood lover. Crab legs.
Okay. What's your favorite hobby?
Traveling, I guess. Well, we can't do much of that now, but I used to like traveling.
What else?
If you could sit down with one person, anyone on this planet, or who would it be?
I would have to say Michelle Obama. I just think that she is amazing. Like, she's just goals.
I still have to watch her documentary. I haven't seen it
too.
It's so good.
Oh, so you haven't seen it too either. You're probably gonna love it. Michelle said it was fantastic. Michelle Chan. Fantastic. So I'm excited. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nikki, for your time. You're absolutely lovely. We adore you, and we look forward to seeing you grow and glow with your group of friends that are here supporting you today. And just wanted to do a couple of shout outs on, it's Small Business Saturday, and some of those who showed up for you today, their closet names are Evolving Always on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. Discount deals the number 4 and the letter U on Poshmark. Swag Slayer on Poshmark, Grailed, and Mercari. And I think that's about all that we have on there. If you want to see more, please, before you guys leave, feel free to, you know, advertise your shops on the live feed, and, you know, come on and check them out and shop their store. So have a wonderful and lovely rest of your Saturdays, everyone. Thanks for making our day, Nikki.
Thank you.
It was such a pleasure to have you today.
And thanks everyone for joining on YouTube.
And we'll see you guys on Monday. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.